It's the 1st of May, and earlier today in Jamnagar of Karnataka, the Prime Minister of this country was addressing a rally where he said that he would like to dedicate the huge achievement of rural electrification to the workers and laborers of this country who worked at the grassroots level to make this dream possible. Yes, this is in reference to the fact that the Prime Minister has claimed that every village in this country now has access to power. This was an announcement that the Prime Minister made on Twitter, saying that it's a historic day in the development history of India. So let's look at the two sides. Immediately, there were two kinds of reactions. One, of course, the political reaction, where you had the Congress party strongly reacting to it and saying, well, 97% of the electrification process was done during the Congress regime, and it was only the balance 3% that was covered by the BJP. And of course, the other kind of reaction that came in was report after report questioning the claim itself, questioning the accuracy of whether 100% rural electrification has actually been achieved. Now, let me clarify here the criteria for a village to be declared electrified are based on 3 points. First, whether at least 10% of the households in the village have electricity. Number two, whether all the health centers, offices, and major power centers, panchayats, etc., have electricity. And number three, there should be at least one power distribution center in that village for that village to be declared electrified. Which means that 100% rural electrification does not mean every household in this country have access to power supply. For example, the state that I come from, in Assam, less than 60% of households have electricity, and similar is the case with states like UP and Jharkhand. So when we look a bit closer into the realities on the ground, what we realize is if we talk to people, and I have somebody who worked for me and I asked her that is there electricity in your village, what she told me is that yes, the option of taking a connection is there, but a lot of people have not taken up that option simply because they cannot afford to pay the monthly electricity bill. The government has said that this power supply will be metered and they will be charged on actual consumption. A lot of these rural poor are not okay with, they cannot afford to pay the monthly bill, and therefore they have opted not to take up the power supply. That is one reality. Even if we look at the villages which are formally, for the record, electrified, how much actual power supply do they get? Now again, reports indicate that many of these states, many of the villages which actually come under the category of electrified villages get less than 12 hours of uninterrupted power supply. And there's another story now why that is happening, because the power stations that are dependent on coal stocks are running out of supplies. The over-dependence on coal is another issue that the government has not looked at. So a lot of it is being done to put things on record, but when you look closer, there is a lot of lacunae here. So let's not forget that, well, there is a lot of posturing, a lot of perception building and propaganda going around this issue of rural electrification. And is there a positive side? What is the good side? Of course, there is a positive side. Let's not forget that this is a big milestone for the country at large. It is 2018, and it is today, after 70 years of independence, that we are talking about power being accessible to every village. Laisang village in remote Manipur being the last inhabited village to be given access to power supply. Sure, it is going to have many benefits associated with it. The fact that rural economy will get a fillip, the fact that this very critical part of rural infrastructure, power supply, has reached these villages would perhaps mean there could be jobs, there could be businesses that will reach these remote corners, there will be more opportunities for the young people in these villages. So one cannot, of course, undermine the importance of it. The fact that it has come a little too late, notwithstanding, it is a huge achievement for this country. So what do you think? What do you feel about whether this entire issue, this drum beating that is going on, is a farce, or there is some amount of reason why we should be celebrating this milestone? Do write into me. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Thanks for watching Two Sides to the Coin.